Shell, to serve our mining customers in the United States, we have a joint venture, which is Shell and Whitmore Reliability Solutions. Bret works for the joint venture. And then we have the Shell direct team in the U.S. that covers the other sectors, so like the quarries and cement, but they cover the hard rock mining.
The hard rock, all heavy duty mining except for aggregates. Aggregates stayed with Shell. Everything for mining and rail came to the JV.
So that's why you see kind of the joint booth. But really the purpose of us having the joint venture in the U.S. is we wanted a team that focused just on mining. Mining has very specific needs. It's a critical sector, and you need specialty products. You need people that have that kind of technical expertise. So in 2021, Shell formed a joint venture with Whitmore Manufacturing, who had a specialty portfolio and the expertise, and so we joined the two together. So they call specifically on the mining customer. So bring that type of expertise and product portfolio and service work to the mining customers. So that's why we're sharing the booth here. So keep walking on. So part of what Shell brought to the joint venture and brings to our mining customers is our products, our product portfolio. That's always been a key element at Shell, is to have high quality, high performing products. In our portfolio, we do a lot of research and development, a lot of innovation in the products that we bring to make sure that they are high performing and what the mines need. And the JV portfolio that was added to that is exactly the same. So this is a little bit about the R&D, and over here is the products. I don't know if we want to walk back to the back. Well, we can show you the touchscreen. So one of the things we do is we don't just bring oil and grease to your mine site. We want to bring the right product to the right application. So it's key to understand the application, which is why expertise is so important to us, right? We have people like Bret that came from the mines. His team worked in the mines, and so they understand that you need specific products and specific parts. So Bret, if you want to maybe give an example.
And not only the specific products and the knowledge, but we also have a service arm, which is I think we're the only major oil company that can do everything that we do. So we have quality lubricants, we have hands-on service. A lot of times you'll have an oil company that can give you direction, that can be consultative. We will actually take wrenches and work on the equipment and fix it. We do everything from heavy mechanic work to lube system works and take care of all the lubricants from beginning to end. So some of the unusual key products that came from the Whitmore side is the heavy duty greases and open gear lubricants. Open gear lubricants it's a very small market, it's niche, but it's very critical to the most critical assets at a mine site. So mills, shovels, drag lines is where you're going to find that. So those are the big pinch points in a mining production, and it's critical. So that's where we put a lot of our focus on product and on service.
Yeah. So because the point is we want to have a total lubrication management system, bring that total solution to the customer. When you're talking about a mine, what's the most important thing to a mine? It's output. It's production of coal. It's production of copper, whatever they're doing. They don't want to worry about the lubricants, but the lubricants is so important. It's the lifeblood of the equipment, obviously. So it's very important that we can take that worry off their mind. We can help manage that. And as he says, the joint venture can do the services that goes along with it. So it's not just bringing the product. It's not just recommending a product. It's actually being able to go out there and do the service work, install lube systems, troubleshoot, repair, any of those things that we need to do to make sure that they don't have to worry about the lubricants. They worry about output, which is most important to them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the things we also like to do is we're constantly innovating, right? So we're constantly improving our portfolio, and we're constantly trying to bring new and innovative things to our customers. And so one of the things we have is this is called a tactic grease unit. But basically what it does is it's able to put grease exactly where a mine or any customer needs it. So if you think about greases, say you got a customer that's got a conveyor belt that's really high, 70 foot high, whatever the case may be. Instead of having an operator that has a grease gun and goes up there and tries to grease the fittings up there on a conveyor or whatever it may be, you can put these tactic units that will dispense the right amount of grease in the right spot. And so grease is just thick and sticky oil, right? So you use grease when you can't use oil because it flows and it'll fall out. So you just put this where it's needed, but it's a very important thing to make sure you grease the right amount. So over-greasing is just as bad as under-greasing. And this is quite frankly an area, especially when you have, like we're talking about the equipment that's hard to get to or things like that, where operators just simply don't get the right amount, or maybe they don't get to go around at the right time to put the amount of grease there. So we have these tactic units.
Somebody may leave, and that area is getting missed because you relied on a person knowing where to go. A conveyor, even as simple as a conveyor belt, has thousands of grease
That's the example I gave, yeah.
Yeah, and so somebody might forget one, forget two. They're very expensive to replace when you can put an auto luber on it that.
Yep.
Thank you, Scott. An auto luber, you won't forget it. One thing that Shell's come out with recently is a Bluetooth version, which makes it super simple. All you have to do is be within 50 feet of the asset. You pull up the app. You can go, okay, the battery's at 70%, the grease is at 50%, and yes, it's been firing every day exactly how I want it to. I'm perfectly happy. Okay, move, and you'll be able to see all your assets on an app without having to go to that hard to reach spot, without having to manually check and go, what's under the cover? Okay, it's good. I just saved myself 30 minutes because I have today's technology.
Yeah, so sensors at the points all along.
There are sensors in the unit. If it's lubing and it's not going where it's supposed to, obviously there's no. You still have to use visual and use common sense. But when you can go, that luber is working. It's checked, it's verified, and it's going into this bearing. I know it's working. The technology is.
This is an example of how this is open. It's open of its own purpose, but this is an example of how it greases the bearing. And so what Bret and the team will do is they'll go through and make sure that they're putting the right amount of grease, so they can help set it for the first time, and then set it and forget it, basically. Yep. And what the Bluetooth technology allows is the operator, the operations person, to go around and like you said, they can check it on the app to see if it needs. So it's a health and safety thing for one, so you don't have to get people climbing up high, right? And then it's protecting that equipment. That's the most important thing. Again, you're protecting the equipment. You're making sure grease is getting where it needs to be, when it needs to be, not too much, not too little, to protect the life of that equipment, which is hugely important to them.
Yep.
One thing that the joint venture and a lot of the Shell companies around the world are also able to do is partner with equipment. So, Bret, you might want to tell them how you guys do this.
So Shell's a global partner with Graco. Graco supplies and manufactures lubrication equipment. They're made here in America. Everything that Graco does is made in the U.S. in Minnesota. They're a really strong partner of ours, and again, this is something that makes the JV very unique. That we can not only sell you the lubricants, but we can make sure that you're getting the right equipment, doing all the right things. So the 5 R's of lubrication: right oil, right time, right amount, and it's 4th R. Here's another R. Yeah, Graco's been a great ally, and it really helps support us and what our customers do best.
And it comes back again to the total lubrication solution. That's what we want to bring to the customer. We don't want them to have to think about it, worry about it. We bring everything they need. Yep. And then we can talk a little bit about paneling. So some of the other things we do, I talked about innovation. We have things like the tactics. We have our partners that we bring in. But we want to make sure that we have the right products for the mining customers, and in particular biodegradable. So we have a line of biodegradable products called Paneling. I keep pointing to the wall there. That's what you're seeing. And we can get you more information on this. But really, sustainability is important to Shell. It's important to our customers. And in particular, the mining industry wants to make sure that they are sustainably mining. Mining is a critical sector for all industries of the world, quite honestly, and we need mining for a very long time to come. So we want to do everything we can to help them sustainably mine, and that goes out to the lubricants as well. So we have a line called Paneling that has biodegradable, a number of types of products, so hydraulic oils, gear oils, greases, that if they have an application where that's needed. So for example, things over water, or things are in a protected area and you have to worry about what goes in the ground, you can use these. So we have, again, a full line. It's just some of the things we want to bring to our customer. Is not just the oil and grease, not just hydraulic oil. We want to bring continually evolving products that look to the future of sustainability as well. Yep.
And then the last and final thing is we brought on another partner called Redwest. It's asset management software. We know that we're really good at what we do. We know lube systems, we know the equipment, we know how to fix it. But if it's not documented, it didn't happen. So we're constantly missing that part, not doing it correctly, trying to get better at it. So we finally partnered with a company called Redwest, and it's asset management software. and it's amazing software. But we can do all of our audits, all of our recommendations, everything like that through their app. Everything is documented. It's long-term documentation for those value-added projects. DVRs is what we call them at Shell. So we can keep an eye on the asset. It's tagged with either a geo-tracker or a QR code. We monitor it the whole time that we use it, and when you can monitor the asset and you see that it's extended past the component life, or you can catch a failure before it happens, it's incredibly important to our customers, and that documentation has worked wonders and saved both us and our customers a lot of money.
Yeah, because it's so easy to say you bring value to your customer. We're adding value to your customer, and that's obviously what we want to do. But when we have a way to track it and monitor it, and you can go to a mine manager and you can say, here are the projects that my team did the first 6 months of this year, and we extended the life of this asset, or we improved the performance of this asset, and we have that documented so they can see it, and quite frankly, so we can see it. That's the way you want to do it. You don't want to just go tell somebody. You want to be able to show them and prove to them, and that's what we do with this asset management software.
If it's not documented, it didn't
happen.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's the booth. So we can take any questions you have or discuss anything further. But that kind of sums up what we're trying to show here.